If you're anything like me, I'm sure there's been at least one moment in your life where you heard about a piece of media that intrigued you, only to have it just be torn down by someone in your life or on the internet. In my case, the 2014 film John Wick starring Keanu Reeves was that piece of media. I saw a post on an Instagram meme account of someone who had rented the movie at Redbox, and the previous renter had left them a note with 4 quarters taped to the inside of the rental case, giving them their money back for wasting their time on such a terrible movie. Not this exact picture, but something like this. For a few years, I always assumed that movie was bad just because of that meme, until I saw a video essayist I love just mention how great that movie was in passing. So I decided to watch it, and imagine how excited I was when I not only loved it, but thought it was one of, if not the best action movie of the 2000s. With the truly overwhelming amount of content that is released every week, navigating this can be hard. It can be even harder if you don't have a trusted source helping you on what to invest your time in and what to skip, or if you don't know the people that even work on these projects. I'm sure we have all seen a trailer that got us excited, only to have the movie be a massive letdown. I'm looking at you, Suicide Squad.
I can't wait to show you my toys.
My goal here is to help you navigate this insane ocean of content. First, let's talk about Rotten Tomatoes. Let's establish some background around Rotten Tomatoes. They exploded in popularity around 2014, and there's an LA Times article stating that in 2017, 36% of moviegoers checked the Rotten Tomatoes score of a film before going to see it. The problem, though, with Rotten Tomatoes is that the scores don't necessarily give an accurate depiction of the film. The tomato meter is not a percentage grade. Scoring a 93% doesn't mean that that's an A movie, but merely it's the percentage of critics that gave that film a positive rating, which is a 6 out of 10 or above, which is quite a difference. I rarely, if ever, check the tomato meter, whereas others live and die by it and see it as gospel and will see or not see a movie based on its tomato score. For example, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, directed by Guy Ritchie from 2017, has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 31%, meaning, again, only 30% of critics gave it at least a 6 out of 10. Now, I would have given that movie at least an 8. I've shared my full thoughts in a review that I will link down below, but the point being, in my opinion, the tomato meter shouldn't be taken as truth. If I had believed that King Arthur was rotten, I never would have seen it. And instead, I decided to follow my desire to see a Guy Ritchie film, a little bit more on that later, and my wife and I loved it so much we actually saw it 3 times in theaters, and I listened to the soundtrack frequently. My point is, don't rely on a review aggregator to determine what you should and shouldn't watch. It can be a tool, but of course it shouldn't be your only one. Which brings me to my next point, critics and reviewers. Now, as some of you may remember, years ago, I tried my hand at film reviewing, and the more I did it, though, the less I liked it. I mean, I'm just some guy, and who's to say that a movie that took years of work and millions of dollars deserves an arbitrary number score like a 7 out of 10? I found that grading aspect to be super subjective and decided that discussions about entertainment were much more meaningful. I spent hours watching, listening, and discussing with others about the media that we liked and why. Film, TV, and video games are an art form, and like all forms of art, are subjective and based around emotion. As a quick example, there's an episode of Modern Family in which Phil and Claire Dunphy drop their oldest child off at college. She's trying to rush them out while they were wanting to soak up every last second with her. As they drive home, their daughter calls them to thank them for everything that they've done for her, and that she loves them. My wife and I watched this episode while she was pregnant, and during that scene, we looked at each other and just bawled our eyes out. I bring up this story because at that moment, as an expecting father, I was primed for some child-parent content, and it hit me hard. Whereas another person may watch it and think nothing of it. Art can move us, and it's vital that if we want to consume art that will be meaningful to us, that we seek the help of those with whom we agree with. Real quickly, just some of my favorites. Mr. Sunday Movies. He has a YouTube channel and 2 podcasts, The Weekly Planet with Nick Mason and Suggestible with his awesome wife, Claire Tonti. All 3 of those Australians down under, I trust completely when it comes to media. Patrick H. Williams. He is my favorite video essayist. He's an impressive artist in his own right as well. Lindsay Ellis, an incredibly intelligent writer who really knows her stuff. Chris Stuckman, the OG YouTube film reviewer. When I was trying my hand at film review, he was the template. This guy is a true expert at the craft of what goes into filmmaking. This group of people, along with some trusted friends and family members, are the foundation for why I watch, play, and listen to what I do. In conjunction with this group of people, though, I also really love to follow the artists themselves. In regards to those artists, I'm talking writers, I'm talking directors, I'm talking actors, producers, I'm talking composers. This can be a bit of a challenging one, as often marketing for a movie, TV, or video game doesn't really mention a lot of names in ads. Instead, they'll say things like "from the studio that brought you," which actually means literally nothing. However, some ads do use directors or writers in their ads. Take this new trailer for Adam McKay's Don't Look Up. Learning who makes the media you love will help you find more of what you love. For me, this started with Edgar Wright and Scott Pilgrim. For more on that, please watch my video essay on that film. But to bring up King Arthur and Guy Ritchie again, I had seen 4 of his films when King Arthur came out, and I really loved them, and especially loved his unique style. King Arthur was oozing with that signature style, had a killer soundtrack, and really cool action. My love for Ritchie's films and his style led me to find another movie that I loved, and that's the point. Finding these artists that create works that resonate with you will help you to find more art that resonates with you. So I don't need a Rotten Tomatoes score or a critic to tell me whether or not to watch something they've made, because I want to give them a chance because I've liked what they've done in the past. All right, folks, this may not seem important in the grand scheme of things, and I get that. But the fact of the matter is, with the seemingly infinite amount of entertainment available at the tap of a finger, spending hours on a show, movie, or game that ends up not resonating or connecting with you is the worst. I challenge you to take what you've learned today, to not treat Rotten Tomatoes as gospel, to find a web of trusted individuals, and to follow the artists you like. Take that forward, and tonight, try to find something new and exciting for you. Something that makes you feel connected and embraces your humanity. Because when it comes down to it, that's what we all want. That's what we want in life, is to feel connected, to feel. That's what good art should do. So when you find that group or artist to follow, please let me know. Comment below on who you trust currently and whose art you love so that we can all benefit from and experience that sort of connection. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and P.S. One of the best movies I've seen in recent memory is called The Vast of Night. It's a quick 90 minutes, and from beginning to end, it is so gripping. Highly recommend it. It's on Amazon Prime, which I know you have because everybody has Amazon Prime. And again, it's 90 minutes, so just go watch it. Okay, thanks. Bye.